All right. How's it going? Sound check. We sound pretty good. I assume so. This is the part where if you're watching after just for the analysis, you just like skip or you skip. So just skip several like seconds, probably minutes. Um, gonna get situated here. Um, make sure first and foremost that it sounds good. Daniel is a streamer again. Uh, yes. When like opportunities to play a quad and stream them afterward present themselves, then I do unretire as a streamer. Had to like shake off the rust. Like, uh, okay. Got my got my stuff. Show us the games. Okay, I will in a second. But first, let me show you. I have LaCroix, and also, um, I went to this like Mexican food truck before the tournament. And I was like, let me get a few tacos and also some fries. They're like, do you want large fries? And I'm like, sure, why not? And then the fries themselves were $7. But look, this is like half of it. Like there was a whole. This thing was filled. Like it was just a bunch. So. I didn't eat the fries during like before the tournament. So if you see me munching on fries, also, um, I eat them with a fork. Not all the time, but sometimes I eat fries with a fork. So, okay, I'll show you the games. Mm. Patzer, how's it going? Good to see you. Oh, let me check something. All right, we're all good. Life's good. God is good. I don't know. Why'd you know that? Okay. Um, let's. Oop, that's not the scene I quite wanted. Let's talk about the games. All right. Food trucks in this economy? Did you farm the rating? Rating was farmed. I can confirm that. All right. So, boom. There we go. Nothing fancy. I just want to be able to show the games. Oh, my score sheets are here as well. I have not put these games in yet, so I am like going to be like looking down and stuff at the moves. And also, I will be looking at like the engine analysis and stuff for the first time myself. 6 viewers. Thank you all so much for watching. Um, let's get to it. So, in the first round, I was paired against Eric Ney. This tournament, farm tourney's out of state. Um, sure, I'll consider it. Now I should probably look up. And I think he had the list actually. I'm totally leaking the Facebook page, which I mean anyone watching probably is on the page. I just want to see the ratings. So Daniel 1900 before Potter 2000. Very, very unlikely. Very unlikely. So I was black in round one against Eric Ney, who was the second highest rated player going into the quad. So I think I need to make a move first. Um, let's see. I just want to edit this. Eric Ney, he was 1562. Daniel Guel was 1794. Okay, let's take a look at these games. So, considering you're like 1999, you're like what? Oh, he was 1999 or he is? If he is 1999, that'd be interesting. So, E4 I decided to play Sicilian. I've been playing a lot of Sicilians. I guess what I was trying to say, actually, the sentence I was trying to say is I've been trying to play a lot of stuff against E4. Obviously, I played E5 a lot. I played C5. I've dabbled with Alkynes as well, but I decided this game to go for if it's Sicilian. Uh, yeah, that's actually crazy if he is. Because like the last time I played Eric Ney, actually not the last time, but the time before, we had a pretty good game, or I had a pretty good game where he played knight c3 and I played a6. So I was hoping for something like that. But he did surprise me here. He went d4, And after takes, went c3. And I'm like, oh shoot, it's a Smith-Morra gambit. Now, I think generally when you are facing an opening like the Smith-Morra, because the Smith-Morra is no joke. I know gambits can get kind of, can kind of have a bad rap sometimes, like, oh, the computer refutes them or something like that, like King's Gambit, stuff like that. Uh, no Caro, no, not yet. We have not delved. Although I have looked at some Caro lines, they're actually pretty enticing. That's beside the point. So sometimes gambits get a bad rap, but the Smith Mora is no joke. Like if you misplay it, or if you misplay against it, then it can be really difficult to play. That's what I did. I make an Alpin. I played D5. Um, I played D5, so I was like, I decided not to go into the mainline theory, and just to play a position that we both probably don't know. Also, turn engine lines off. Um, I'll turn them on if it's critical or whatnot, but I played d5, and I was like, I'm just gonna play a position that neither of us know. I just figure if he takes, I would take the e pawn. Yeah, d5 makes an alpin. Okay, but he didn't really play it like an alpin, which I thought was kind of strange. But yeah, if pawn takes, I was just gonna play like queen takes. I guess I could play a move like knight f6 maybe instead, but I was like, I just played d5 to surprise him a little bit, and he did have a little bit of a think. And there have been some other Sicilian positions where, well, I guess if they played straight up an Alpin, then that would kind of turn into one, huh? Yeah, so I played d5. I made an Alpin, so Logan, you're correct. He played bishop b5 check. I wasn't really sure about this move. I thought maybe the most challenging move would be something like, I don't know off the top of my head. I thought maybe takes was the best move because it kind of provokes me to bring my queen out. I didn't think this was very good because of pawn takes. So I thought he should have done something else. Analysis says, yeah, it says e takes d5 is correct. So he played bishop b5 check, and I was like, okay, I'm not too concerned. I did briefly consider bishop d7, but I decided there's no need. I just played knight c6. Maybe bishop d7 was slightly better. I'm not exactly sure. He did take on d5, which, yeah, already is an error. I think he missed that after queen takes d5, I fork the bishop and the pawn. So he's kind of in. I mean, it's hard to make true real judgments with the engine, but it's already not looking great. He played bishop takes c6, I played queen takes c6. Yeah, there was a little debate here internally. I thought about pawn takes c6 and maybe it was better in hindsight. Yeah, it is a fork straight up. But I thought I just wanted to stabilize my pawn structure, but maybe looking back at future variations, it would have been better with the pawn here. And you'll kind of see what I'm talking about in a second. I played queen takes. He played knight f3. I went bishop g4. He castled, and then I took f3. Honestly, I thought he would take the pawn. Sorry, would take with the pawn. Just keep queens on the board, but he played queen takes. So I think he's just trying to go for an end game where he could have some compensation. Um, well, where he can kind of hold, I guess, because I think like what happens after queen takes, pawn takes, and I just took the queen in a heartbeat because I'm like, okay, I'm up a pawn in the end game within 10 moves. Like this should be what I want, right? But then I was realizing, well, he's starting to take. I know it wouldn't be great for a structure, but he does have that idea. I thought about variation with like castles. It's like going castles and then, taking with the rook. But then I saw bishop e3, and then my a pawn would be attacked. So I was like, e5 didn't look good because he could just take, and my pawn could be weak. So I was like, d3 doesn't look like it. I mean, maybe d3 rook d8 is a possibility because it's kind of hard for him to take the pawn, but I don't really see any promise there either. So I just took the pawn. Which, okay, engine saying is okay. But the concerning thing is he plays knight takes, and suddenly he has some threats. Like he has an idea of like knight b5 is kind of the main one. I also saw like knight d5 could be a possibility as well, and that's kind of why I was saying earlier maybe it was better if I'd taken with the pawn, because if my pawn's here, then I'm actually doing great. I think because his knight can't go out, right? But the way I played it, he does have those ideas, right? So, so yeah, maybe like Maybe here pawn takes, and we get a similar variation: knight f3, bishop g4, castles, takes, takes. I guess it's not. It's saying it's not all that much better. Maybe because this pawn is weak. But anywho, neither here nor there. So I kind of thought in this position, or I thought about this position. I was like, okay, knight b5's coming. You should have played the spell chess qualifiers today. Oh, the spell chess qualifiers were today? No, I missed it. I would have qualified for sure. So I saw knight b5 as an idea, so I was like, okay, let's just stop it. Let's go a6. I mean, engine says it's equal. I mean, I don't really know. I'm actually curious though what the best variation was. I should just go knight f6. Okay, I thought about variation with knight f6. I thought about this exact variation, literally the top engine line. Knight f6, knight b5, knight d5. Um, with protecting the c7 square. But I thought there was rook d1. Well, I thought rook d1, e6, rook takes? I guess as knight gets trapped is the idea. King d7. Oh, I honestly just miss. I could just move a bishop and chop the knight. Um, that's a little embarrassing. That's funny. Yeah, I did see the idea of just going knight f6 because knight f6 is just ideal because I can just then develop my pieces and then like castle. But I saw this idea with knight f6, then knight d5. The point being that if I play e6, I just anchor the knight. And he doesn't really have a way to go to c7. He can't attack my knight. But, yeah, and the d pawn is cooking. Yeah, that's true. So, anywho, after knight takes c3, I played a6, which is, I mean, it's okay. I mean, the computer's saying it's equal now, but it's like, it's all, I'm not too unhappy about it. He played bishop f4. I played knight f6. I guess he had a move that equalizes here. Knight d5. I thought knight d5 I would play like knight d5 rook c8. Saying bishop e3. What if I go e6? Huh. He just ignores it. Okay. Rook a c1. That would not have occurred to me. I guess if I like take, then take the knight, he goes check. And then if I go like here, he goes bishop c5. Um, okay, I mean that would not have even occurred to me. Had he played the move knight d5, that would have been bonkers, honestly, if he had gone knight d5 and then upon rook c8 e6 he just ignores it, just plays like rook c1, like that's absolutely nuts. So, uh, he played bishop f4. I played knight f6. He played rook f to d1, taking the open file. I played e6 because I'm really just trying to develop my pieces in castle because my opponent is trying to just like kind of double on the d file and really just dominate it. So I'm just trying to go here, here, and then liquidate with rook d8. Uh, he played rook to d3. I played bishop e7. He played rook a d1. I castled, and then here I thought he would play bishop d6 because I thought that, he would like, if trick takes, he would take back, and the rook would kind of have the whole d file to itself. But here he played bishop c7, which is okay. He's trying to just control the d8 square so that his rooks can dominate forever. The thing is, it's just a little bit wonky after I play a move like rook c8. And after rook c8, the bishop has to move. So he plays bishop e6. I played rook c6, attacking the bishop. And yeah, I think I saw a variation, like if bishop a5, I just trap the bishop with b6. Bishop has nowhere to go, right? So he played knight a4 here, which honestly, like, it, it might be okay, but after knight d5, I'm attacking the bishop. I have a nice knight on the d5 square. Also, the knight blocks the rooks from really controlling the file. Um, so yeah, I thought I was doing really good here after knight d5. Knight d5, he went bishop d4, keeping pieces on the board. Uh, I played b5. He played knight c6. Sorry, knight c3. I played rook d8. He played knight e4. Wow, knight e4 is not that good. I guess. Oh, you know what? I think after knight e4, I did miss this move, knight f4. Did you break Scott Cooper's adoption streak on you? Uh, I mean, if he had an adoption streak, I'd broken it for sure. I think he won the first two games that we played, but then I've won like three or four in a row or something like that. But anywho, uh, yeah, here I played knight b4. Then after I play, which I guess is just as good, but then I was like, oh, I missed knight f4, and then I could take. Yeah, this would have been way cleaner. King g2 takes, and I'm just up like I simplify, but I'm just like doing really well, right? So after knight b4, I was like, I think I saw like the a pawn and just wanted to grab it. I remember he had a few wins in the early days. No, he sure did. He's still the type of player like when I play him, like I kind of remember that, and it's definitely interesting that way. I think back in 2021, 22, he had a couple wins, but since then, I think we've righted the ship for sure. Uh, so knight e4, sorry, yeah, knight e4. I guess he missed maybe a resource or something. It just says he should play bishop e3 and just hang tight. Because yeah, after knight e4, I play knight b4, and then oh yeah, also Eric Ney had a good start against me. The first time we played, he won, and then we drew the next two games. I'm pretty sure, and then I've won a bunch of games. So knight f4 looks more interesting. So you have taxes on d4. Yeah, definitely. I regretted not playing knight f4. So I thought knight f4 and then rook takes d4 would have just been really cool to play into, and then like I mean, it's simplified, right? It's not really anything special necessarily. But it's knight versus bishop. I can get my king active, my rook active, things like that. I'm up a pawn. He has a fractured pawn structure. That it would have been pretty. I should have been able to win it, right? But I played knight b4. He played rook d2, I believe, and then I just took the pawn on a2. He played bishop c5. Yeah, he played bishop c5, going for a little bit of a trick because, well, if I take the bishop, he takes my rook, and that would not be any good. If I. So what happens is I trade, and then I take, and I obviously can't take the knight because there's a back rank, but I just go king f8 and I am doing really well because now I'm up two pawns. By virtue of taking this pawn, I have a 2-on-1 on this side of the board. And I mean, it's a knight in game, so you have to be like a little bit careful. Things can get tricky, but I felt pretty good about where I was at. Yeah, I played king f8. I actually stopped notation here because I was in time pressure. I believe he played knight d7 and knight e5. I played rook d6 because I saw if rook takes. Well, he did play rook takes. If he takes the pawn, I was just content to travel with my king, which I think he did. He did take the pawn, and then he played king f1, I want to say. King here. It went knight e5, king b3, knight d3 here. I want to say he went check here. I mean, it doesn't really matter. King e2, a5, here. I think he tried to find away with his knight. It went like knight e4, something like that. Uh, here. I mean, I think, and then I think here he resigned, right? So that was a pretty clean win for the most part. I think it was just the type of thing like in the opening because he probably knew all the theory or knows all the theory with the Smith more accepted and things like that. But even if it's a situation or if it was a variation that I didn't know very well, I would rather get a situation where we both don't know what's going on rather than where he knows the theory in a sharp position and I'm just kind of like figuring it out on the fly, right? So I was like, okay, d5 and let's go. And yeah, just out of curiosity, yeah, he should have played e takes d5. That was the best move. And then after queen takes, he can take the pawn. And after knight c6, knight f3. I mean, yeah, it's a game here, right? Okay, that was my win against Eric Ney. Let's go ahead and can I save this actually? I'm gonna make a note. I think it was Cat Hair Quad 89. I don't really do collections, but you know, sure. Oh, do I have to add it to do I have to make a collection? Yeah, I create a new collection. Oh no, I didn't do that earlier, I guess. Cat Hair Quad 89. Boom. All right. So yeah, that was round one. I mean, anything else interesting? I think it was just like a situation where I was up a pawn in the end game as early as move 11, and just trying to like make sure to like navigate the complications that there were. But eventually we got the job done, which is what matters. In round two, I was paired against the unrated player. His name is Mason McLean. What a name, Mason McLean. That would be a sick name to have. So you play a move. And then so I was white. 1790, was it 94, I think? And Mason McLean. I think it was actually McLain. And can I put unrated? I don't know. Oh yeah, I mean it's just not gonna do anything. That's fine. Mason McLean is an unrated player. He lost his round one game to Scott Cooper. It actually looked like he was doing pretty good just optically, but I think he blundered a piece or something and just kind of went downhill from there. But definitely the vibe that I got was that he was a very aggressive player, like actually like go for your throat type of player. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play a solid game. I'm gonna play D4. Uh, I played D4. He played a different move order, but he essentially played a King's Indian. And Logan Schaefer here, if you're watching this, you're going to love the variation I decided to play, which I was like, look, I'm playing an unrated player. I don't know how good he really is. I'm just going to play what I know and what my coach from like 5 years ago taught me, which is Bishop D3 and Knight E2. So that's what I did. Bishop D3, castles, Knight E2. Okay? I'm not necessarily gonna explain. I mean, it's not some secret or anything like that, but the idea is that you're a little bit more flexible. Like, you know, you can like push D5 at certain points. If they ever push F5 in the future, there's flexibilities to like take and do different things. The goaded setup. Yeah, exactly. It's totally the goaded setup. Who was the coach, by the way? My coach was his name's Nicholas Matta. Well, he goes by Nick, but he's the best player in Louisiana. And he's actually an FM now. He was an NM when we worked together, but then he got better. He also like doubled his rates since like I worked with him, and I didn't stop because of that. I just like, you know, I mean, you know, I saw him and then I stopped, and then you know, like boom, he went from charging like 50 to like 90, and it's like holy smokes. But yeah, that was my coach. You can look him up, stalk him, whatever you want to do. So yeah, Nick Matta, I've heard of him. Yeah, no, he was my coach for a solid like year or two. Definitely helped me a lot. So shout out to you, Mr. Matta, if you are watching. Hope you're doing well. He played B6, which I wasn't exactly sure. Like, he's trying to go Bishop E7. Actually, he played B6 before castles, but the order doesn't really matter. Because I remember thinking, like, I messed up the move order actually so bad. I've seen him at some tourneys. Yeah, I think he's played some like Houston chess festivals and things like that before. Maybe World Open. But I mean, the position that happened was like castles here, 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 here. The move order to how we got to this position is very like different. He actually played d6 on move one, but regardless, this is the position we got. So he played e5, I played d5, he played knight b5. And this is the type of move where you know you're dealing with an unrated player because like knight b5 is just not a very good move because the knight's just kind of stranded on b4. You really just want to put it on e7 so it can support a potential f5 initiative, right? So knight b4 was played. I played bishop b1. I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world if my bishop were gotten rid of, but it's probably just best to keep it. I went bishop e1. He played c6. I played a3. He played knight a6, and I played b4. Partly, well, I think it's probably the best move, but also a little bit of like hoping that he would miss takes and then b5, which to his credit he didn't. He saw that by playing knight c7, and after knight c7, I took c6, bishop takes c6, and here I'm thinking the reason I took is because I want to kind of like have this open file with the backward pawn. I'm thinking like, okay, maybe I can like pile up on the pawn. Also, like the d5 square could be weak and things like that. So I was kind of thinking, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna start with this game plan to trade off my bishop for his bishop. So I'm gonna go bishop c2, bishop a4. So that's what I did. I played bishop c2. He played rook e8. Then I played bishop a4. And then I realized this guy's a little sophisticated. He played queen d7. He did not trade. He did not snap take like I thought he might. Um, he played queen d7. So I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm also gonna be sophisticated. I'm gonna go back. Because I want this bishop. And it actually turns out later in the game, this bishop turned out to be a monster, right? So I went bishop e3, and then here he played a very wild move. Now, I thought that he just blundered it, like he had a horrible oversight. It turns out he admitted that he had sacrificed the piece to try to like get some like play, essentially. Which I'd say, given that we're working with an unrated player, it kind of makes sense, but also is the type of move that like good players know it's not a good move, even if you get some compensation. Is knight g4. He's played knight g4. I'm like, okay. So his idea is that after takes, he wants to play queen takes and get some semblance of compensation. Um, like my bishop's hanging, things like that. The thing is, there's just not enough resources to go around. So I knew in this position I'm just up a piece. So what I did, now what I wanted to do is to play c5 to attack this, but I did realize that if I play c5 immediately, then it might get a little tricky if he takes. Obviously, he's threatening mate in 1. So I could take the pawn with check, but I do have to take care of this at some point. So I could take... After queen takes, I'm like, he's attacking my bishop. I don't really want to deal with it. So I decided to play h3 first. I played h3 first. Knight g4. Yeah, knight g4 was something else. That is some bravery, my dude, but also not very good. I mean, if you want to be aggressive, you gotta go like here and like f5. I know the rook's there, but you should just put it there anyway. Like maybe instead of rook e8, you go like knight h5 or knight e8 and then play f5. Cause like, I mean, no offense, Mason, if you're watching this, which you might be later, you're doing great. Like, I thought you did great for the most part. But in order to play King's Indian, like, you gotta play a5 at some point. Like, you just gotta learn that concept, right? So, anyway, enough bashing poor Mason. H3, he played Queen H4. Then I played C5 with the attack on the pawn. He took the pawn E4. I took on F2. He played King H8. I took the rook. I took the rook. And then I took d6, knight e6, d7, rook d8. Then I played knight takes e4, queen takes e4, queen d2, knight f4, knight takes, pawn takes. I thought for a split second that I blundered because of this. Because I think in my head, I thought my knight was still on f3, so I was going to play bishop t4, but then I'm like, oh, wait, I can't do that. But I just played rook takes f4 with tempo, and then he sacked the queen and then resigned. I think he realized that when he takes my rook, I have bishop c7. I mean, it's apparently not even the best variation. Apparently there's like a forced mate or something. Wonder what the forced mate is. Oh, there's not even... Oh, the forced mate's bishop g5. See, that makes sense. Cause I think if bishop c7, there's it wants him to just take. Oh yeah, that's fair. I mean that would still be clean mop up. But yeah, no, pretty good game. I think it was just like one of those games where sometimes when you're playing like lower or under or unrated players, like you just have to wait for them to make the mistake, and it sure enough happened. So, it was a pretty good game, and so now I'm 2-0, and I just have to face Scott Cooper, who is my arch nemesis, who has beaten me multiple times in the early days. So, I have to be on my A game because otherwise Scott's gonna Scott, right? All right. Um, let's take a look. All right. I think I saved it, right? Did I? I don't know. I'll be back 1 second. Yeah, no, you're right. You couldn't hear me because I was oh, that's a bummer. Then that means the analysis is like, well, I mean, you can see the analysis, but I did go for a while because I went to the restroom and I forgot to unmute. That's really unfortunate. Uh, they need something like on Teams or Zoom or something like that, where if you're like muted, it like gives a notification. I don't know. Sorry about that, Potzer. It wasn't just you. It was probably everyone. Well, no one who was watching because, didn't have the viewers to point out early enough. But I'll give the clip notes because I'm sure Scott will watch this back of kind of my analysis, which is that, you know, I expected a King's Indian defense, kind of, but then I played in English and he played asymmetrical. So then I was like, okay, game on. He played g6, he took. And then after bishop g7, I played queen d3. I was mentioning that because the bishop is kind of like attacking the queen. This is kind of the best move, and then there are ideas of like e4, b3, bishop e2, things like that. Uh, and then you're quitting your browser and trying to fix my audio. No, it wasn't you, it was me. But then I was talking about how he played a move that I had never seen before, but it's not entirely stupid in knight g4. And the idea being to go knight e5 and attack the c pawn. Or attack the queen and attack the c pawn. So I decided to play b3 to protect the c pawn. He played rook b8, and then after bishop e2, knight e5, queen d2, he plays b6. And I believe we are here in the analysis. Okay, great. Thanks for pointing that out, Potzer. I played e4 in this position, so I wanted to just kind of take stake on this in the center, but also like f4 is an idea and things like that. So it was e4, bishop e6. I went knight d5. He very quickly took on d5. Apparently, I had something better. It's still fine, but maybe it doesn't want me to go knight d5. Oh, it says f4. It says f4, knight c6, and then h3, and white's doing really well. I mean, it's so good that saying that b5 is a good move for black. Okay, I mean, I guess there's an idea of maybe here and going like e5 or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, um, so yeah, knight d5. He played bishop takes d5. I actually thought for a little bit which way to take back. I decided to take back with the c pawn because I thought that this would be a little bit too stale for my pawn structure. So I was like, I want to take with the c pawn. And then the c file can be up for grabs, and I can play like f4, trade off the bishops. And I thought that was a position that I could just play and do pretty well with. So he played rook c8. I played f4. He played knight g4. I went bishop takes g7, king takes g7, h3, knight f6, rook a c1, trying to take the open file, or challenge it, I should say, queen d7. Then I start to make things a little bit tricky. I went queen d4, which is apparently not a very good move. Interesting. I wonder if it's something concrete, like he just takes, then he plays rook c8. Because I thought about that. I thought about him taking, playing rook c8. I mean, I thought for sure there was something with e5. I mean, maybe there's not. Maybe he just goes like check or something. Check, and then takes? You're telling me that this is fine for black? I'm actually kind of baffled. I just checked there's knight f6. And d6 doesn't really get me anywhere, right? Yeah. Wow. I'm at a loss for words. Okay then. Uh Fine. I mean, I blundered. That's well, not really blunder, but I didn't realize how equal that position was. After queen d4, I played or he played king g8 because my idea was to play e5. But that was my threat. E5 and e6, opening this up, right? So, the guy played king g8. Let's see. And then here I played the tricky move that I was pretty proud of. I played rook c6. And rook c6 is tricky. Well, I thought I was doing well by like doubling on the c file and things like that. But after rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes. Wow, this is still equal. Wait, I'm actually curious as to why. Because I thought e5 was just good for me. Wait, hold on. So I play e5 and this is apparently equal. Because I thought I'm just winning a piece. What did I miss? Um, what did Daniel miss? Um, so not knight d5. I mean, he took. This position's equal. Oh, does he have like rook d8? No, no, rook d8 would not work. He played queen c5, which blunders, right? Yeah, that's just a blunder. Wow. Black has an equalizing move here. Oh my gosh, it's queen d7. It's queen d7, isn't it? Wow. If Scott had found that, like, kudos to him, bro. Like, it would have been tough. I mean, it still might be, like, playable as far as, like, an end game I can grind out. But, wow, potentially, queen d7, yeah. I mean, potentially he was, like, a move away from, like, getting very close to a draw, right? Um, but well, he thought he had messed up here, and I thought so too. I thought I won a piece with e5, but no, he played queen c5, which I'm like, well, why do you like trade pieces like when you're when you know you're gonna lose a piece? But okay, queen takes, pawn takes, rook takes. He fought on a little bit, but honestly, like that's probably just stuff I can like show. Don't necessarily need to show. Y'all could probably trust me. I think y'all could trust me that I won this. I should say. He played rook d8. I played rook a6. I think he played rook d7. I mean, it took a little bit of maneuvering. It's probably pretty instructive to actually look over it. Rook d1, king h2, rook d2. I didn't want to let any of my pawns go, so I went rook a6. He played rook d7. I played a4. He played rook c7. That allows me to play rook c7, attacking the pawn and the rook, so he trades. And then king f8, king g2, king e7, king f3, king d6, bishop b5, f6, bishop c4, and then yeah, he played a5. I played bishop g8. Boom, boom, boom. I got my king in and stuff. King g4, king e5. Yeah, it went like this. He took it with the king for some reason, even though I thought he should have taken with the pawn to try to like run it. But yeah, king takes. I think I wait here, 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 and then I just marched my king over and won. Just like that. All right, so we ended the quad on 3-0, and so I do go over 1800. I'm not sure which exact number. I think it's 1806 or something like that, but I do think the ratings will probably be out in a few minutes. So I'll keep an eye out for that. I'll probably just end the stream here. I do hate to end the stream a little, like, not abruptly, but it's just a little shorter of a stream than normal, but I do want to make sure to get to the rest of my evening, just make sure everything's all good for tomorrow. And yeah, I just wanted to put out this little stream just recapping my games and hope you all enjoyed it. So thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all are doing well. And in the meantime, I will catch you next time I stream. Peace.